Hi there, boys and girls. How are you today? I am Patrice Lennon, your HFLE teacher. Today we are going to be looking at a very interesting topic, a topic that I'm sure we can all relate to. But just before we go into our topic, a little song just came to my mind. And you know what that little song is? You probably don't know it because you're very young, but my parents and your parents and grandparents would know the song. Stop the fighting so early in the morning. Stop the fighting, I really don't like this conflict. Stop the fighting so early in the morning. Stop the fighting, don't you know we can resolve it? Stop the fighting so early in the morning. Stop the fighting, I really don't like this conflict. Stop the fighting so early in the morning. Stop the fighting, don't you know we can resolve it? Stop the fighting so early in the morning. Stop the fighting, I really don't like this conflict. Stop the fighting so early in the morning. Stop the fighting, don't you know we can resolve it? Alright, so by now I know that you know the topic for this lesson. Alright, the topic for the theme for this lesson is self and interpersonal relationship. And our topic is make we resolve it, Jamaican style. Make we resolve it. Okay, the objectives for today's lesson is 1. We are going to be defining the term conflict. 2. We are going to be explaining the importance of resolving conflicts. We are also going to be showing respect for the feelings and opinions of others in resolving conflicts. And finally, we are going to be demonstrating conflict resolution skill in formulating a plan of action to resolve conflicts in a manner that shows respect. Our dominant life skill for today's lesson is conflict resolution. That is the skill that we are going to be looking at. And the value is respect. Good. So now we are going to be playing a little game of true or false. So you're going to get your papers and you're going to get your pencils and you are going to be looking at the questions and quickly you're going to be reading them and you're going to be writing T for true, F for false beside each question. Let's go. Have your pencils? Have your papers? Good. So, when I read the questions, you're going to write true if the answer is true and false if the answer is false. Now, let's go. Number 1. Conflicts are always negative. So, you got your papers and your pencil? Yes, good. I'm seeing you writing. Conflicts are always negative. True or false? Number 2. Conflict is always violent. True or false? Number 3. Conflict is unavoidable. Number 4. The best way to deal with a conflict is to ignore it. Number 5. Conflict is always based on personality clashes. Okay, giving you 1 minute to look over your answers carefully. True or false? Good. Let's go. Our answers. Number 1. Conflicts are always negative. Are conflicts always negative? Couldn't you be fighting over something positive? Good. So therefore your answer was false. Excellent. Conflict is always violent. True or false? False. Not all conflicts end up in violent situations. Some of them end up good when you resolve them properly. Excellent. Number 3, conflict is unavoidable. That is so very true. Sometimes you get out of the way from people and they still find you to try to make a conflict with you, right? So conflict is not always unavoidable. So the answer for that one is true. The next one is the best way to deal with a conflict is to ignore it. True or false? I see you writing true, but it was false. It is false. We cannot always ignore conflicts. We have to find a way to solve them. Excellent. Conflict is always based on personality clashes. What I mean by that, you might be quiet, I might be outspoken. Does that matter when it comes on to a conflict? Good. So the answer for that one is false. Conflict is not always based on our personality clashes. Good. So score yourselves 5 out of 5. Excellent. 4 out of 5. Good. And even if you got 3 out of 5, give yourselves a clap. Good job, everybody. Now, what is a conflict? Yes. Excellent. I'm hearing the answers. Good. Yes. So a conflict is a disagreement between 2 or more people or between 2 or more choices. Got that? Yes. When 2 or more people have different thought processes, attitudes, understanding, interests, requirements, beliefs, or attitudes about something, conflict can occur. A conflict results in heated arguments, physical abuses, and definitely loss of peace and harmony. A conflict can actually change relationships. Friends can become foes as a result of conflict, and I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. So in first form or in grade 5 or grade 6, you might have had that one friend and you had some silly little conflict about even as simple as a book or a pencil or a seat or even a toy that you weren't supposed to take to school, and because of that one silly little conflict you lost your friend. Your friend now becomes your foe. Alright, so when 2 or more people have different beliefs or attitudes about something, conflict can occur. For example, Josh and Jeff are planning to go to the movie together on Saturday. Josh wants to see one movie and Jeff wants to see another. Depending on how they handle this difference, conflict can occur. How you think they can handle the difference? Think about it. Josh and Jeff, they want to go to the movie the same time together on Saturday, but they want to watch different things. How can they solve this conflict? What are some types of conflicts you know about? Yes, very good. So, some types of conflicts are personal conflicts, and when I say personal, you know what I mean. Me and you and your brother, you and your sister, you and mommy, you and your friend, you and your teacher, personal conflicts. So a personal conflict involves a conflict between 2 people, most often from the same mutual dislike or personality clash. Alright, we also have racial conflicts. You know the word racial, right? Good. Racial conflict. So this results from racism or the belief that groups of humans are superior or inferior. Basically saying you thinking you're better than me because I am black and you are white. Good? Got that? Great. Then we have class conflict. I'm sure you have experienced that one. Class conflict results from socio-economic competition among the social classes or between the rich or the poor. So you thinking that because you're rich, you are better than I am. That can also cause a conflict. Thus, class conflict. Political conflict results from differences in opinion or preferences of political policies or parties. So which party you prefer? Are you that P party or that J party? Yes, political preferences. Then finally, we have international conflicts. And when we say international, you mean, yes, not only in Jamaica, but other countries. So international conflicts, conflicts between different nations, states, or conflicts between people and organizations in different countries. Good. So those were some types of conflicts that we know of. All right. What is the nature of conflict? In simple words, social conflict is always present in social life, meaning that conflict is always present everywhere you go. It is there. It is a fundamental feature of human society. It does not occur because people are unreasonable or uncooperative or because they are unwilling to live properly and decently with others. Conflicts are a natural part of life. It is rooted in persona and social differences. Conflict is a natural response in humans in the face of stressful situations. What do you do if a conflict arises? There are many practical ways to treat a conflict. There are things we should do and things not to do in order to deal with conflict. The life skill conflict resolution, if practiced, is chief among the strategies for dealing with conflicts. Now let us look at a reflective question. The reflective question that we are going to be reflecting on for this lesson is, how do I currently deal with conflicts? So how do you deal with conflicts? How do I deal with conflicts? So now we're going to be doing a little activity. I know you all will enjoy this activity because it is something that almost everybody enjoys eating. Good. So you're going to get a blank paper, your pencils, and you're going to get something round, something circular, and you are going to draw a circle. Now you are going to divide this circle into 6 equal parts. So you are making a pizza. Good. You are making a pizza with 6 slices. What is that? Medium, large, small? I think it's a small pizza, 6 slices. Good. Now, on the blank paper, you are going to be adding your toppings. So like how you would have a normal pizza with chicken and pineapple and what else? Yes, mushroom. Yes, and all of those nice stuff. You are going to be using words for your toppings today. So you are going to be using words to top your pizza. All these words are going to be words that you can use when resolving a conflict. Good? You are going to make your pizza very colorful. So all your toppings are going to be very colorful. So see, I have one on screen. Mine is blank. But I'm going to be sharing with you some of my toppings after this screen. All right. Have yours? Good. Did you write all your words? Very good. I'm looking at your pizzas and they are looking very delicious, like they can really solve a conflict. Now, these are some possible pizza toppings for resolving a conflict. So, you could have the word negotiate. What does that mean? You talk to the person and you try to come up with the best possible solution. Then you have care, the word care. When you are caring and kind and you show somebody how much they mean to you in a conflict, this also can help to resolve the situation. All right, I have another word, agreement. Yes, you can come up with an agreement that we are going to be doing this. So, for example, in the movie, in the scenario that we had with the movie with Jeff, they could come up with an agreement that this week we are going to be watching this movie, and next week we will watch the other one, so they can come up with an agreement that can solve the conflict. Then I have peaceful. Yes, it's always good to make our resolutions or resolving our conflicts in a peaceful manner. Then I have respect. Remember the value? Respect. Good. So when you respect me and I respect you, then we can work out the conflict together. Then finally, I have compromise. What does that mean? You meet me halfway, I meet you halfway, and we come up with a solution that is well suited for both of us. So everybody leave happy. Good? Excellent. Did you have any of my toppings? Very good. Very good. Now, here are some things to do and not to do when faced with a conflict. So some do's and some don'ts, right? Good. So number one, for a do, explain how you feel in a calm voice. It doesn't make sense you make a lot of noise and you might end up dropping down and dying before you even finish solving the conflict. So explain how you feel in a calm voice. Do not raise your voice or shout. Good, so that's the don't. Another do is, if the other person doesn't seem to understand, what do? You try to make them understand. You do not become impatient and angry. Another do is, keep a smile on your face whenever possible. Do not have an angry look on your face. Think about the other person's point of view. Give it serious consideration before responding. Do not interrupt or become angry if the other person has a different opinion than you. And another do, help the other person know that you understand his or her opinion. Do not only consider your own opinion. Alright, some more do's. Focus only on the present situation. Don't bring up the past. Things were gone from long 20, sorry, you are not 20, 5, 4, 3 years ago. Alright, so those were some do's and don'ts. Now for your homework, even though we are not finished yet, I want you to find some more do's and some more don'ts of what is to be done in a conflict situation and what should not be done. Alright? Now we're going to be looking at a scenario. The scenario goes like this. Rashid went to lunch and was walking to an empty seat to have it. Rajir bumped into him and caused his lunch to fall to the ground, spilling all the contents from the box. Rashid was so furious and started pushing and shouting at Rajir, who was trying to apologize, but Rashid was way too upset to even hear from him. Some students in the cafeteria started shouting, "Fight! Fight! Fight!" Now, you are going to be using the steps of the conflict resolution skill along with the value respect to help Rashid and Rajir. Good. Now, what are the steps of the conflict resolution skill? Again, remember you're going to be using them to help the persons in the scenario, Rashid and Rajir. So, what are the skills? Number one, calm down. Who should calm down? Good. Rashid should calm down. Very good. Number two, agree to discuss the problem. Yes, so they could agree that, okay, since my lunch is still here, that's Rajir, Since I still have my lunch, we can share. Or if Rajier have a little extra money, he can offer to give it to Rashid so that he can purchase something. It might not be the same big lunch. It might have to be a patty this time, but I'm sure he would prefer that than to stay hungry. Good. Number 3, tell what's bothering you using iMessages. So Rashid could explain why he is so upset by using some iMessages. I am upset because I was so hungry and you bumped out my lunch and I don't have any money to purchase another one. Number 4, each person restates what they heard the other person say. And number 5, take responsibility for your part of the problem. So in this case, Rajier would have to take responsibility for bumping into Rashid so that his lunch was all gone. Number 5, brainstorm solutions and produce one that satisfies both persons. So as I said before, they could brainstorm if Rajier have some money, extra money, or if he's going to share his lunch. Good? So brainstorm solutions and produce one that everybody leaves happy. And number 6, affirm, forgive, or say thanks. Shake hands. Not now, it's Corona time, so no shaking of hands, but you can use your elbows to say that you forgive. Very good. Time to journal. So take out your journals and you are going to be doing some journal entries. These are what you are going to be entering in your journal. I remember when. So you're going to try to remember a time when you had a conflict. What did I do? What did you do in that conflict? How did you resolve it? Number 3, what I will do going forward. Now that you have learned the conflict resolution skill, what would you do differently? Now, boys and girls, I hope you enjoyed today's lesson. I hope you learned something about conflict, and I hope that going forward you are ready to resolve your conflicts. How are you going to be resolving them? Excellent. By going back to the conflict resolution skill. So until next time, it's goodbye from HFLE class. Remember, keep safe, sanitize your hands, and wear a mask.